Hi everyone, this is Lori from Nature's Loves, and this is my second video that I'm making for YouTube. I am making air plant displays. Not a lot of people have heard about air plants, but they used to be all the rage, they say, about 20 years ago, so I'm bringing them back. They are great plants. They need no soil. You can, I've had a woman who bought one from me, and I wrapped it in tissue paper. She put it in her purse, and she left and got on the plane to Florida and brought the plant with her to Florida. So, they're great plants. I love them. And in the last video, I just introduced myself pretty much to everybody, letting everybody know that I am starting this business. I really want to get it out there, how important plants are, just to the environment, but also, I make a lot for kids too, and that way they can learn while having fun with the little aquariums, or what terrariums, or whatever kind that the kids like. Some of them have fairy lights in them, so they can use it as a night light also. But it's teaching the children how to how to start taking care of plants at a young age, which is great, because I know I'll complain about the price of food, groceries going up and everything, gas. But then I see plants and I'm like, oh, $80, okay. So I think everybody loves plants. But I have had an idea for a couple of months. I just was trying to wrap my head around how I can do this. So what I am going to do tonight is an aquarium. I've never done this before, and so I will tell you one thing: I'm not going to edit anything in any of the videos. I've been working with the air plants for about 8 months, and I've made mistakes along the way, and unfortunately I've killed about 5 plants, unbeknownst to me, that you really should not leave the plants in the water for too long, because the bottom will rot if you don't lay it on its side afterwards for 4 hours. But I feel that if too much water is in the base, they do get moldy, they do rot. So that was my learning curve, and was really sorry for the plants. But today, what I would like to show you is what I have done so far. I had this bowl, and I did some research, went to the pet store, and I got aquarium sealant, and I glued this bowl to this big bowl. So what I am going to do is put a fish in here and see how this turns out. Now, my son, when I got the fish, I came home, he asked me if he could name the fish, and I said, no, don't name the fish, because if you name the fish, it's going to become our fish, and we just don't want to get attached. We have a cat, we have a dog. I'm good with that. So here we go. Here is Daniel. My son named him Daniel, so I may end up with a fish. But what I did was I waited 24 hours for the bowl to solidify in here. I have gravel. I got all this at the pet store. I talked to the people there, and they were very helpful at PetSmart. So I got the gravel. They also told me that there is this, it's like this miniature seagrass, which they said was very good because the fish like to hide. So pretty much for that, I did get a filter because I have a really big glass container, which I'm going to show on the next video, and I would really love to get ideas of what, different ideas of what I can do with it. I did get this filter, and but I'm obviously not going to need it for this one. I'm going to let the big one go till next week and figure out what we're going to do. I did also get these products for the fish water, which I did put in there about an hour ago and just let it set. It is to keep the tank, help keep the tank clean, and this one takes chlorine out, but I did use regular spring water. But they told me to use that anyway, so I did. And then for the actual air plants, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, I have brown and white sand. I love this color, the two of them together. I have, since Daniel is red, I don't know if you can see Daniel, I will put Daniel up here so everyone can see him. And he is actually a male crown tail fish. He's really pretty. He was the most lively at the store. He's really pretty. So back in there, I'm just letting him get acclimated to the water, the temperature. We had to wait till it came up to 85 degrees, and so that's what we're doing. We'll make sure he's safe. These are, let me see, which ones am I going to put in here? These are red-tipped Ionantha, and these are from Guatemala. I don't know if you can really see them too well. I did order a GoPro, and it's supposed to be here tomorrow. I have noticed on YouTube, a lot of the videos for me are better with the GoPro because you can actually see what, see what the person is doing just as they're seeing it. So I will be using that next time. So, but for this time, I will just try and keep the bowl up close so you can see it. So these are the red-tipped Ionantha from Guatemala, and then I was thinking of using the Ionantha from Mexico, but I'm thinking that might be too much. So I do have a cheat sheet because there's so many different names of these air plants. It is ridiculous how many air plants there are and how many different names and how they name them. Okay, so this one is the Utriciola. So we're going to use, this kind of reminds me of like a little palm tree or something. So I'm going to try and make this like a beachy kind of theme, just to see how it turns out. The good thing about this, if you don't like it, you can change it. You can do whatever you want. So I will be using that, and also I have some little starfish that we will be putting in there. You can see them. And then I do have some crushed shells, so I will be using also the crushed shells to make it look pretty. If we don't like it, we can take it out. No big deal. So what I was thinking I would like to do is first I did wash the gravel. It said to wash it in cold water, clear cold water, and let it stream in there. So I did it. It's still wet. It's fine. It's been sitting for about an hour. So what I would like to do is, I think, put the gravel in first, put the little grass in. These are not air plants, by the way. These are just for the fish who's going to be on the outside, and the air plants will be on the inside. So I want to start, I'm going to move this up a little bit so everybody can see. I'm going to start putting these in. I don't want to use too many because I want Daniel to have some room to swim around. And I am going to do a show this weekend. So I will let everybody know if anyone buys Daniel. I did also buy this tank cleaners for the glass to get all the muck off. And also, I didn't know they did this. I haven't had a fish for years. But they have the fish food. And each tablet lasts for 7 days. How wonderful is that? You can go on vacation and not worry about your fish. So, I do really like fish. I grew up, had a fish. Tell the story that I used to let the fish swim. I didn't tell my mom this. I would fill the bathtub up for the fish, and I would let him swim in there. The whole time I was cleaning his little tank, and he had a blast. And I trained him to come up and swim into, when I put my hand in the water, he would swim into my hand. I would pick him up and put him back in his tank. But these fish, they are really smart. You can train them. You can they have little hoops for them that you can train them to jump through. I really didn't know they could do all that, but I've been reading up on them, and I think I'm going to try and put the grass in now. So let's see. They said that these fish really like to hide, so I've never used this grass before, but it's a plant. I hope so. I mean, of course, I'll love it. It is really pretty. Let's see. This, like I said, this is my first time doing it. I am not going to do any of this before I film. I want everybody, you know, who's watching, if you're interested, go to your local landscape store, see if they have air plants. Try something new. Like I said, you can do whatever you want, and if I make a mistake, then you're gonna see it, because I am not editing anything out. And if this does not work, I have plenty of more bowls that Daniel would really enjoy, and they're big. This is pretty big. They said this is pretty big for a fish like him. See, if not, you know, I can take some. Actually, I think I'm going to take some of these rocks out, because I do want him to have some space to swim around, because this bowl is not as high. I wanted it low. Now we can take some of these out, and then I'm going to put this other thing right here, so he can hide if he would like. If he wants to come out, he can. And he may feel like the flowers or the plants on the inside of the bowl is also coverage. So we'll see how this goes. Having a feeling these are too high, and I am going to cut them back a little bit. Let's see. No, maybe not. We'll see. Alright. Spread them around. Okay. Next, what I want to do is I want to fill this first, the inside, so that I don't have the water, you know, splashing around. So I think I'm going to start with the brown sand. I have the brown sand. And let's see. Kind of like to do it uneven. You'd like to do it. Okay, so I have the brown sand in there, and then the white. I love this white because it's sparkly, and it reminds me of the sun hitting the sand on the beach. Like I said in my last video, see all that brown, so maybe I'll do a little more. Please give me suggestions. I actually had someone on Nextdoor. You know, I asked people for their ideas of what they thought would make a good air plant arrangement, and somebody said butterfly. So that's really neat. I am going to have to look into that. So I absolutely am going to do that, see how I can make a butterfly out of the air plants. So if you have any suggestions, please leave them for me. I love hearing all the different things that people like. My daughter wants a Stranger Things. My son is into the gaming. He's 18, so I'm sure he's going to be asking me for something from Destiny or Apex. Right, I want me to do something with Cade. Okay, so let me see that, how it comes out. Actually, it's like a cookie. That's pretty cool. Alright, so that looks pretty good. You can always add more if you'd like. So, what I'm going to do is just kind of, if you see any brown tips, just pull them off. It's fine. Just see if we can. And then I kind of figure on putting the red tips, just like that. Off center a little bit, and then I do have some shells. My friend gives me her shells. She lives in Florida some of the time. So, yeah, you can see that. And then put another shell in there. Stick it. And I do have my tweezers, and I like to use them for the starfish. They can be a bugger with moving. So, there. That. This one there. And I have a little tiny one. And you can go, let's see. Right there. And then I have some rocks. I love putting the rocks in, just like the safety version of this there. Let's see here. Use my tweezers, that might be a bit better. If you're doing this, just do whatever works for you. I know, like, when I'm down at the beach, a lot of times you see the rocks collected around the different. There it goes. That keeps falling out. Around the different foliage down there, you'll see different. No, it's too big. And air plants are pet and children friendly. Child friendly. It's kind of blending in with the shell, but like I said, just keep working with everything until you get the results that you want. And like I said tomorrow, it will be much better with the GoPro. Kind of hard seeing what you're doing from backwards. Okay, I'm getting excited about putting Daniel in here. I've got to stop calling this fish Daniel. Okay, so I put some crushed shells in there too. That one fell over, that's okay. So there are, like I was saying last time, there are a lot of different kinds of tillandsia. I do have some more up here I'm going to show when I'm going to finish this. So now comes the time to put Daniel in. So what I'm going to do, here comes my cat. Alright, so I'm going to try this. My son did measure this out for me earlier, just to make sure that we had enough in here for the fish. It's really pretty on the bottom. Look at that crab. Good ribs. Very typical. Actually, I don't think you need that much for this. All right, here we go. Let's see. Come on. Yeah, a little bit too much water in here. He's like, nope. Off to there, buddy. There you go. Alright, so you get the camera, put it down there so everybody can see. He likes it. Let's see if we can. And the grass is coming up. Please do not run the camera. So the grass is not. We have a lot of food down there. I don't know if you can see him swimming. He's happy. So I think I'm gonna need more gravel down there to keep it. So now it's all coming up, which it's not supposed to do when you're filming. It's supposed to do that after. Looks like it likes it though. Swim now. As far as the tillandsia or the air plants, you know, you can take them out and just soak them for, I'd say about a half an hour. Upside down. I do not get the bases wet. And take them out right after, and I turn them upside down or on their side, depending if they're on a, I have to take these out because they just do not want to stay. We'll figure something out with them later. These are doing pretty good. So he has a little bit, well, maybe I can stick them in one at a time. They were all together. That's how they're supposed to be. Oh, okay. I felt really bad for the fish when you go in there. I'm not a huge fish person, but I like them. But when you go in there and they're in these little tiny, this is the little tiny container that he came in, and just feel bad that they're all stuck in there. But I mean, what can shrubs too, I guess, right? Okay, so these are not gonna stay in there, but you get the gist of it. So, let me just put it on. So, well, that looks pretty good. He's, I think, swimming for the camera. Right in front of the camera, he is. So that's great. He looks very happy. I'm actually really happy because this is something that I wanted to do for a couple of months. I wasn't sure what container I was going to use, containers, but I'm glad that I came up with these. I think it looks really neat. And what I will do is I will let you know next week. I have a show Saturday. Like I said, I will let you know if someone buys Daniel. Hopefully he'll have a nice new home and someone to take care of him. And I have all the products that I'm going to give with Daniel. Absolutely, I would not just give somebody a fish and not prepare for him. So like I said, I have these two chemicals for him, the fish food, which I will probably give him one right now, and the tank cleaners, not tank, but so I'm going to make sure that he has food. He knows it's in there. And I will put it back here so he can go back there in the grass and hide. So, one thing that I did want to do is I wanted to show you what other type of tillandsias that I have. I actually did a show a couple weeks ago and I sold out almost out of everything. I live in Pennsylvania and we have, in September, we have a huge fall fest in Downingtown, and a couple thousand people come to it. So I am going to be there at that show, and I did not expect to sell out of almost everything that I had. I only have about 70 plants left right now. So I did order. It was supposed to be here today or Saturday. Yesterday it didn't make it, and I wanted to unbox and show you all the different ones that they have, but unfortunately I couldn't. So maybe I will video that and put it on the next one. But I did want to show you some of the air plants that I do have. I'm not going to do all of them tonight, just a couple. As I was saying, to my son, like, don't name the fish because you get attached. This is the Xerographica, and this is the queen of all air plants. And jokingly, I named this one Lisa after my sister. And I said, oh, it's so pretty. I just love the long, curly. The more you water them, the less that they curl up. But I just kept saying, oh, it's so pretty, I'm going to name it Lisa, and I did. And then we were joking, and I kept saying, well, Lisa looks great, and now I have an attachment to Lisa, and I cannot sell Lisa. I was at a show, and someone wanted to buy her, and I could not let her go, because I married my sister and became attached. So this one is a medium size tillandsia, Xerographica. They can grow 6 to 8 inches, even larger in the wild, mostly, but across. And as far as, like I said, depending on how you like the look of them, if you water them more, they stay like this. If you don't water them as much, I did water these guys before, but this one not as much, they stay pretty curled. They can curl up like that. So it just depends on what you like. But this is a small size. I did get this as a seedling, and it was a lot smaller, and just with the watering, taking care of it. I've had this for about 6 months, so it has really grown in that time. I do give my plants fertilizer. I spray them with fertilizer maybe once every 3 months. They say you can do it once a month. I don't like to do that because it can burn them. So I do just like to just do it not that often. And then this one is the large. This one is really big. It is curled up a lot because I did not give too much water. I didn't want to do that before. I always water on Sundays. I do it once a week. In between, I spritz if they need it. So, but this one, yeah, this one is the large and very, very pretty. Okay, so I do have tags on here. This one I wanted to show. This one is flowering right now. Put it closer so that you can see the flowers. And this is a Caput Medusa flagellatella. That 3 times. And what these flowers do, the Tillandsias, they flower once in their life. And after they flower, they die off, but they have pups. And you will see the pups growing in the base. So this one, you know, they can flower for 2 weeks to a year. It just depends on the plant, what the plant wants. You never know when they're going to flower. I have one that I had it for 6 or 7 months, and I walked out one morning and there was 3 flowers on it, and I was just totally surprised. But they're really pretty. They turn this orangish, pinkish, reddish color for the hummingbirds to come and pollinate them. So pretty much all the Tillandsia. There's a couple that have white or yellow flowers, but most of them do come out with the red. So that is that one. And then I have, this one's going to be fun, Zacapananus Floridian. And this is just like a bad hair day, but it's really, you know, it's really neat. It's really different looking, and they grow. And this has more of a purplish flower. Most of the flowers, like that come out, once they come out, they are purplish and yellow. But all these leaves inside will turn the pink color, and it'll be really pretty. So this one's pretty old. And as far as the roots, you don't really need the roots. So I'll show you. What you can do is you can cut the roots. They use these to just, there you go. They just use them to hold on to trees in the wild. There is absolutely no nutrition going through there. They get all their nutrition through the air and the water. They love pond water the most. They love rainwater. My neighbors think I'm crazy, but when it rains, I have buckets outside sitting in there, and you know, I'm the rain catcher. So, but I really do try to give them the rainwater. They can have the like the spring water. That's fine. But they do get more nutrients out of the pond and rainwater, so they really thrive with that. Okay, so here is one that I was talking about last week that I did. This is the dragon. I don't know if you can see all of him or not. Come over here, Daniel. There we go. So this is the dragon, and he has a stiff, this is called a stiff gray. Tillandsia, and then I have 3 of the Guatemala red-tipped Ionantha, and then this one I did glue on because it kept falling off. And there is a glue that you can use. It's a craft glue, and it's perfectly fine for the Tillandsia. And like I said, since they don't use their roots for anything but holding on, they don't need them. They just need water. I have my mister here, right here, and what you can do is you just spray them, give them a little spray if they look thirsty, and you're good to go. What else do I have? Oh, okay, I do have some. This over here. What a lot of people really do like, I love, these are the rose quartz with the this one is the Mexican Ionantha. Please excuse my tablecloth. This is my catch-all. I do everything on this table. I painted my son's shelves. That's why I was playing. But this is the rose quartz. Love, love, love. And then what I started doing now is I ordered the pink Ionantha, and I have that, you can see that, I have that on the rose quartz, which is beautiful. And then on this one, I think that this is the lavender, but it looks pretty on the pink quartz. So, you know, you can do like a small, medium, large. I just fiddle around with them and see which one sits the best on the quartz. If you want to do that, you can get your quartz and just glue them on. Just make sure that you get the waterproof glue, because you don't want any water leaking down into the base, because they will rot. Okay, and I think the last one that I have, I wanted to show you this. This is the Ionantha Maxima. Okay, so this, let me take this off. This one had already flowered, and when this one is going to be dying, but is now, here is the pup, if you can see that. So there is a little pup, and when it grows to about here, I will separate them, and then this will be a whole new plant. And I have this one, and this one, it's sitting on quartz chunk, rose quartz chunk, and I made the pink sand. It was white, but I made it pink with the alcohol coloring. But this one, beautiful. She is getting ready to flower. She is turning pink, and she's a little stressed right now. I did have to take a little bit off the back. That can happen, you know, when they're dying and they're going to give birth, I guess, the pups. So just wanted to show you the difference of the colors. They normally are the green, and then when they turn this beautiful pinkish red to attract the hummingbirds to pollinate, and then they give birth. So I think that is pretty much what I have for today. If you are interested in anything that I have, I do sell the plants, except for Lisa. Daniel is for sale. But really, if there is anything that you're interested in, just down below, you know, just let me know if there's anything that you are interested in, and I can get back to you. I will be putting, my daughter put my email on there, so you could just email me, that's fine, and let me know. And just one more, I'll give you one more peek at Daniel. He is kind of hiding out in the grass a little bit there. And I'm gonna put the camera up so that you can see everything. Okay. You can see all of it. So there you have the pretty plants and your seashell. And Daniel has a home. I'm so glad he's out of his little container. So if you could, if you would, I do have to say thank you to everyone who has get back here, everyone who has liked and subscribed to this channel. I just really want to say thank you. This is a new beginning for me. I love these plants. I really enjoy working with the plants, and I love bringing things, ideas, different things to everybody, and just I hope that you enjoy them and as much as I do. And I just really want to say thank you to everyone and your kind words. It's so nice. That's what I want, is like a family channel. I want it to be, this is going to be family oriented, absolutely. So next time, what I think I'll do is I will be making something else every time on the show, but I think what I will do is bring out the ones that I have made for the children, I do have one customer who wants something with mermaids, so I did actually get, where did I put them? I did get mermaids for her, and I'm going to probably make that on the next one. So I will be bringing the children's ones out too, and the ones with and without the fairy lights, so that you can see how they work. So again, from Nature's Love and from me, Lori, I just want to say thank you for coming. All right, bye bye. I will have a GoPro, so you won't have to see me getting up and down. Okay, bye. Daniel says goodbye too.